What's up, people? Back with another video. Mr. Orange Project 2025 himself. You know, the guy who said, I don't know anything about Project 2025. I have no idea about Project 2025. And then once he got elected, well, there's some good things in there and there's some bad things in there. And he didn't know about Project 2025 either. Even though a number of his picks are people who came up with Project 2025. Maybe it's a coincidence. But there's also that one thing that he wants to do to defund schools, which coincidentally is a part of Project 2025. And then there's that tweet that he had where he was talking about the foundation, which is another word for, you guessed it, Project 2025. Now, if it quacks like a duck, flies like a duck, walk like a duck, it's probably a duck. But with that all being said, the reason I'm talking about this now is because you're putting a man in the office who doesn't even know the history of this country, and yet he wants to defund education. Now, make no mistake, defunding education has nothing to do with mathematics, has nothing to do with English. The reason why they want to defund education is because the facts over feelings people don't like facts. They're worried about little Johnny's feelings on the way history is taught in this country. Right? They want to make the history of this country more like a diet version of the history, right? They want to strip all the violence out of the history. They want to, embellish the history like they have been doing. Things like Christopher Columbus discovering a place that he never discovered. And they don't want things taught like Christopher Columbus being a genocidal maniac. And instead of taking all this money from a program that's desperately needed, we should be putting more money into the program. And not only should we be putting more money into the program, but we should get the right people to teach the history of this country and not try to whitewash the history of this country. Because the facts over feelings people are worried about little Johnny and little Bethany's feelings. Because a lot of people in our country like to throw around words like indoctrination, brainwashing, sheep. They like to throw around stuff like critical thinking and stuff like that without actually using critical thinking, right? And that's why you have people who would say things like this.
What's happening to the white people? They have a Black Miss America. They have a black college. They have a black month. What do we have? And now they have Juneteenth.
Well, Martha, can I call you Martha? Well, the reason why, Martha, if you critically think, or if you read some of these things behind me, or if you simply hit this little thing right here and type some things in, you would find out why there was a Miss Black America. And it's simple. For us who had to live through racism and stuff like that, we already know, and we didn't have to read these things back here or even scroll or put anything in this search bar right here. We already knew. The reason simply was because of one thing. Miss America didn't allow black women to take a part in the Miss America contest. Miss America, which any Miss who is American should have been able to take a part in, but black women couldn't. So they created Miss Black America. The other things that you were upset about, the black colleges. Well, they wasn't the black colleges. They are called historically black colleges. That means back in history, these colleges was black. And why was that?
Mary Jackson, petition to attend courses at Hampton High School. Good morning, Your Honor.
Hampton High School is a white school, Mrs. Jackson.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm aware of that.
Virginia, still a segregated state, regardless of what the federal government says, regardless of what Supreme Court says.
Well, it's simple. It is simple. What did I call you? Martha? Bethany? Because we weren't allowed to go to schools and college with you guys. And that's why we had historically black colleges, right? And for all the other things that you said, that you brought up, and you act like black people have something special that you guys were left out of, all those things was created because you, your parents before you, and people who look like you decided they didn't want to have us playing in their sandbox. And that's why these things are a result of Jim Crow and racism. But if you do some critical thinking, you look like you are old enough to had went through Jim Crow. And so you should know why these things are a thing. So if you're one of those people who's ever come out and said, well, why do black people have black history? Because you didn't teach black history, right? And it's not every European American who thinks like this, because there are European Americans that actually know. Unfortunately, the majority of you think just like, what did I call her again? Now you know. And you can stop asking these questions. And you can stop saying these things. And this won't be my last video. So keep that same energy. And I'm out.